Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. So the past 2 years, I think, or the past 3 years, I've reviewed every single CWDC show in one video. I watch all of them, so I thought, like, you know what, why not just, instead of like making like different reviews for each one, I'll just try and make one review for like all 5 shows. So no spoilers, but it might contain spoilers for the previous seasons before this year, just so you know. So last year, I was very disappointed in Arrow and The Flash. And those are the 2 main shows, and they messed them up pretty badly for me, which was a bummer. Legends I thought was meh, but it was always like meh for me, apart from season 1 I think was pretty good. Supergirl I think was bad 2 seasons, then season 3 last year I think was actually good, I really enjoyed it. And Black Lightning, the new show, standalone, not connected, but still a DC CW show. Season 1 was good, I think it was pretty good, I felt it was interesting. Didn't like the ending really, but I felt it was still interesting though. Season 1, I felt that was decent. So yeah, this year I'm a bit more happy. I'm happier this year. Last year I was disappointed as a whole. I was disappointed as a whole because The Flash and Arrow disappointed me, and that was annoying. But this year I felt like it's been better. To be fair, last year had the crossover of Crisis on Earth X, that one was a really good crossover, the best one so far I feel. Elseworlds was good, I reviewed that in a previous video. Elseworlds was a good crossover to set up Crisis on Infinite Earths, which they're doing this year in the fall, and they teased that at the end of each show, like at the end of Legends, Supergirl, Flash and Arrow, the Anti-Monitor was there. He was there to plant all the things in place to tease the new crossover that was coming, which is I'm sure it's going to be like really good, I'm sure. But yeah, back to the topic of the video. This year, I'm a bit more happy. Like I think they're more like, I'm a bit more happy because I was not disappointed in Arrow or The Flash. To be fair, my expectations after last year were pretty low anyway, but still, I felt they were pretty good. Like The Flash for me, it started off like, it was alright. It wasn't like anything that special. It was alright. What's annoying me is The Flash was so good for 2 seasons. It was so damn good, and then it just messed up badly. It's a bit like Arrow as well. Arrow was really good for 2 seasons of Arrow was just amazing. Those are 2 of the best seasons of superhero shows in general. Then season 3 fell off. Season 4 was the worst. 5 was great, to be fair. Arrow at least recovered it to be great again. 6 was not good last year, disappointing. This year, we'll get to that in a second, but The Flash, after 2 seasons, I felt was so damn good. Zoom was a great villain. Season 1 was amazing emotionally, but season 3 and 4 they just really dropped the ball. And this season, is it season 5 or 6? It's season 5, isn't it? This season, to start with, it was alright. I like the new angle they did, how it's Flash's daughter from the future. That was pretty interesting. I can't really say anything beyond that because that'd be a spoiler, obviously. But the villain of this season. He was cool, but they dragged it out way too much. They dragged it out. That's the problem with 23 episode seasons, because like I've said before, there's so many shows now of superheroes, and I try to watch all of them, but there's just so many episodes. But it's not just because of that. I just feel like if the CW shows were like 16 episodes or less, they would do better. It's not just because I want less anyway. It's also because like there's a lot of filler. There's a lot of filler they put in. They can easily cut it out. They can cut all the filler out, put it into one main big story arc for like 13 to 16 episodes, and that would work better. That would genuinely, in my opinion, it would just in general just work better, and it would be cheaper as well. Less episodes, less money to spend. I just don't get why they don't do that. Like they do that with Black Lightning. Black Lightning season 1 was 13 episodes, season 2 16. That was fine. But with The Flash and Arrow, I just feel like, and Supergirl as well, I just feel like if they made all of those shows like 7 episodes less, it would probably be better. Just in my opinion, that's all I'm saying. I just think it would be better. Legends is alright. Legends it's like 16, 17, 18, then 16 this season. That completely is fine, but when it goes over 20, it goes way too far, because it's like there's too many filler. Like, it's not like the whole season is like one big storyline. There's side storylines, there's side villains. I don't mind side villains, but you know, they spend too much time on the side stuff. Is my point. But yeah, anyway, the Flash. At first, it was alright. The dynamic was alright between him and his daughter. The villain was good, but it dragged too much. The villain himself, like the storyline of the villain, felt like it dragged too much. I don't know what they should have done instead though. Let's say you keep it 22 episodes. Like, this show's 22 episodes. Let's say they keep it at the episode length. How can you not make the villain drag? That's the question. I don't know. Maybe introduce him later than usual. Maybe the first 10 episodes are like about different things. Then introduce him. That could have worked because they did that in Supergirl. Supergirl, they had a villain for like the first 10 episodes. Then they made a bigger villain and went forward with that villain. That probably could have worked better with the Flash. But yeah, the villain, I think, let the show down in a way this season. I felt it was a better season than last year. It was improved. It was pretty good. I don't think it was bad by any means. Had a returning character as well, which was pretty cool. But they introduced that character way too late, in my opinion. Should have been earlier. But still, like, Flash was alright. It was alright this year. It started off alright. It got better. Like, it started to improve towards the crossover. Not because of the crossover, but like the episodes before it, just before it, it really started to like pick up and got me like really into it. The first like 6 episodes, I was just watching. I was interested, but I was just like, all right, you know. But I was a bit more like leaning forward. But that's like literally saying it. But I was a little more like into it as it progressed further, and I thought it was interesting. But then like by episode like 15 or 16, it started like dragging way too much, and then I just wanted it to end really. So I don't know what to give it really. I want to give it a 7, but I feel like that's too nice. But a 6 would be too harsh because I don't think it was a bad show by any means this season. But it definitely wasn't anywhere near perfect, and it wasn't great. But I wasn't so disappointed. So I guess I give it a 7. I give it a 7. So Arrow was very much improved. It wasn't a great season, but I think it was good. I think Arrow was good this season. The first 8 episodes were amazing. Like, Oliver was in prison. It was a great first 8 episodes. Like, it showed Oliver in prison dealing with criminals that he put in there, while the team Arrow's out there trying to deal with being in danger from the villain from last year. Forgot his name. And I felt they did it really well. It was really cool, and it was amazing and awesome, it was just brilliant. And crossover happened as well. Crossover was great. Then they returned, and it wasn't as good. It wasn't quite great like it was. Like, if they kept the level that they did in the first 8 episodes, it would have been an amazing season. But they didn't quite keep it at that level. It wasn't as good, but it was still good. It was still good in my opinion. I think the season as a whole was good. There was a few episodes there that were like not very good, but for the most part, I did feel it was a good season. It did drag a little bit, to be fair, but it was a good season, I feel. The problem with the Flash and Arrow shows are they tend to take the focus away from the main characters. Like, it's their show. Yeah, it's more about Team Flash and Team Arrow, which is one of the reasons why they haven't been as good lately, you know. It's better when it's just like, I mean, it's good to have a team, but it focuses too much on that team, on those teams, which is annoying. And they do the same with Supergirl as well, which is also annoying. But Arrow, I feel this year was good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I feel it could have been a 9. It could have been amazing, but they didn't keep the level that they did before. Supergirl then. Supergirl was alright. This show gets a lot of hate. It gets a lot of hate for having too many agendas, being too PC. I understand it. I understand the hate towards it. For me, I can look past that as long as the storyline is good enough. Is it good enough? At first, it wasn't. It was still interesting. Like, it focused around a hate group. Like, you know, in real life you get hate groups. It was kind of realistic in a way, but in this show, there's like aliens living on Earth now as refugees from other planets. Not just Supergirl, but aliens in general. They have communities, their own pubs, etc. But there's a hate group that hates aliens. They want to drive them out. They don't like them. They don't believe they belong on Earth or in the city. and it was interesting. At least it was interesting. There's a similar storyline in Legion as well. Not Legion, sorry. The Gifted, the X-Men show that was against mutants, the humans against mutants. In this one, humans were against aliens, and this hate group managed to get people on board, like on their bandwagon in a way. They made good points as well. Supergirl made good points to combat it, and it was interesting at least, but it wasn't like great to me. I just thought like, it was alright. But then they changed up the villain. I mean, the villain he was leading the hate group, he was a main villain, but he was still there until the end. But they introduced a bigger villain, like a bigger main villain. I don't want to say who it is, but if you follow the news with these shows, then you probably know who it is. It's an iconic villain, and I felt he was good. Like, the casting was good. He was really good in the show, in my opinion. Like, he was generally like a really good character, and I like how the actor played him. And that's when it got interesting. Like, in the second half of the season, as soon as he got introduced, it started to pick up. It got really, really good. And I felt it was a good storyline. It was a really good storyline. I liked how they did it. I'll still give it a 7 though. I'll still give it a 7 because I feel the first half of it wasn't that good. Then it picked up more towards the end. But you can't just say the whole thing's good because of the end. So like the last maybe 6 to 8 episodes were great. The rest of it, not so great. So I gave it a 7. I felt it was, well, similar to Flash. It started off okay, but it just built up and got better. Which, yeah, or the other way around to Arrow actually. Arrow started off great, but it stayed good. Supergirl started off okay, then got better. Also, Batwoman's coming out as well. Batwoman, I saw the trailer and yeah, disappointed to be honest. I'm a big fan of the Bat family, including Batwoman. She was a cool character in the movies that I've watched, animated movies anyway. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to work in the trailer. I'll give it a chance, or at least I'll watch it for a season, but it doesn't look good at all. Hopefully I'm proved wrong by that one. But yeah, that's a different discussion. Also, Legends of Tomorrow. Now, this show I never thought was great. To be honest, I mainly watch it because it's part of the same universe. Honestly, that's part of the reason I watch it. It's still good. Like, I still like Sarah, like Mick. I want to know like their storylines. The rest of the characters, not so much, to be honest. Constantine is cool. Constantine is cool, to be fair. Constantine is a cool character. But yeah, Legends for me was never a great show. Season 1 I think was pretty good. Since then, I think it's declined. There's been some good and emotional scenes, but overall, it's just, I don't feel it's that good. I feel it's just okay. It's not bad. Like, if it was bad, I wouldn't watch it anyway. But considering it's alright, it's good enough. I still watch it because it's part of the same universe. So I thought, like, yeah, I just watch it because that's the disadvantage of a shared universe. Because if you want to keep up with all of them, then you got to watch all of them, obviously, if you want to get all the references. But I still like it's alright. The show's alright. So I'm not even going to give it a rating, to be honest, because I don't really know what to rate it. But season 4, I didn't like the finale, just like season 3 really. Season 3, the finale was so weird, that Bebo thing. Season 4 finale, just did not enjoy it. It was so weird and random, and it took away some emotional moment from it as well, which was really weird. And I just did not like the ending of season 4. I think it's been renewed now as well. I'm kind of hoping they put Wally West back on there, because it was really good when he was on there. So they probably weren't though, but that would be cool. But yeah, it hasn't been that good since season 1, to be honest. In my opinion, anyway. Like, it's good enough. I watch it because it's part of the shared universe. It has some characters in it that I care about, and it's not really a bad show. It's just like, it doesn't hype me up that much, which is why I don't love it. And finally, the one that's disconnected, Black Lightning. Now, season 2, I felt did drag. I honestly did feel it dragged, even though it wasn't that long. 16 episodes is not much, but I still felt it dragged a little bit. It was good though. It carries on from season 1. So season 1's ending. Season 1 I felt was good, but the ending I didn't like. But season 2 carries on the storyline, and I felt they gave it a fulfilling storyline. I felt it was a good continuation. Had a lot of depth to it, but it wasn't as good as season 1. Season 1 I felt was good. Season 2 wasn't as good. It just simply wasn't as good. They also set up something new at the end. I don't know what it was, but that was pretty interesting. But yeah, it was a good enough season. It was a good enough season, but it wasn't like as good as season 1. But it was still pretty good. I'm looking forward to season 3. I assume there is one anyway. I think they all got renewed. I assume they did anyway. They usually do. Apart from Arrow, actually, Arrow's ending with the episodes with the last season, obviously. And I guess Batwoman replaces it, probably. I don't know. If I were them, I would just like do maybe another season of each, then like maybe not Black Lightning, but then you carry that on. But like the Arrowverse shows, the main Arrowverse, Arrowverse is closing, obviously. The Flash show, I think, has probably run its course, to be honest. Supergirl show, you can like give it another season maybe, and then like in like a couple years, put them all together. Put them all on Legends. Why not? Put them all as a big team up. I just thought that'd be really cool to like do like one big show for a couple seasons, and then end the Arrowverse with the last episode. I don't know. That's just a random idea I just threw out there. It probably wouldn't work anyway. But yeah, that's my review really. Legends was okay. Flash was pretty good. Nothing amazing. Arrow was good. Could have been great, but it was great at the start, but it still stayed good. Supergirl was okay. Improved towards the end. That's my thoughts on these series this season. So yeah, I'm happier this year than last year, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to the next year because it's Crisis, obviously, at the crossover. Arrow's last season. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with next season. And even Supergirl, actually. Supergirl, they've set up something at the end of Supergirl season 4, and I thought like, that's a good setup. I wonder what they're gonna do. Wonder what they're gonna do that setup. I thought that'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens in season 5 for sure. So yeah, this is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.